Hello, welcome to the Wildlife Discovery Center. We're going to be talking about an area of land that's right in front of the Wildlife Discovery Center called Middle Fork Savanna. It is a rare ecosystem that offers a home for many different endangered species, and we're going to be talking about three of those. But a quick history about the Middle Fork Savanna is that it was once owned by a family that ran a gentleman's farm. So that's why Eloa Farm still stands today, and that's where the Wildlife Discovery Center is located. They have a couple rooms within the Eloa Farm, but when Eloa Farm was up and running in the early 1900s, the owners had excavated the land that is now at Middle Fork Savanna, but they used it to grow crops and to raise their livestock as well. But today, researchers have found out how important oak savannas really are to the ecosystem. So communities got involved and corporations, and they were able to raise funds and make Middle Fork Savanna the way it was back when the settlers first came to America in 1492. It's crazy to think that land has hardly changed since then. So a picture of what America kind of used to look like when settlers first came is something like this, and Middle Fork Savanna is unchanged and is hardly changed, and offers a great, comfortable home for many endangered species. I want to show you some pictures of what Middle Fork Savanna looks like today. So the difference between a savanna and a prairie is that a savanna offers a prairie-like fields like this, but also it offers clusters of forest. And most of those species back there are oak, which is what makes this an oak savanna. Middle Fork Savanna also has a great stream that goes through the middle of it, and that's actually part of the Chicago River. It feeds into the Chicago River as it goes into the Great Lakes. And then this kind of is a great example of what a savanna is. So it's got part forest, clusters of forest back there. Most of those are oaks, and then it's got a great prairie land that offers a great endangered habitat to many endangered species, including the eastern Massasauga, the Karner blue butterfly, and the bobolink bird. So as we go in, so one animal that was greatly misunderstood by settlers, and still is today, is the eastern Massasauga. This is an example of a habitat of what an eastern Massasauga would live in. So they were at one time, very common to the Middle Fork Savanna. Eastern Massasaugas are endangered. They're a rattlesnake, and they're part of the pit viper family. They don't grow very big. Adults are about 2 feet in length. They're darker in color. They have kind of a darker pattern. But because of their size, they're able to hide extremely well. And really, rattlesnakes are more afraid of humans than we are of them. They want nothing to do with us. But if they feel threatened, they're going to protect themselves by biting. So these are venomous. And that's a big reason why they were misunderstood by the settlers than they are today. So when people started moving to Lake County, which is where Middle Fork Savanna is, and as they found these, people are afraid of snakes, and they're even more afraid of venomous snakes. So they would kill them or move them away, and they did that in such great numbers that they're now like extinct to Lake County. They haven't been found in Lake County or Middle Fork Savanna in over 30 years. They're very important to the ecosystem at Middle Fork Savanna because one of these guys, one rattlesnake, can eat up to 21 rodents a year. So rodents carry diseases, and then they also maintain the population of rodents. So they're very important to the ecosystem, and they're misunderstood because of their venom, and because even though they are dangerous, they're very important. So researchers have found that snake venom could carry the cure for cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and many other ailments that are a problem for humans. So they are dangerous, but they're very important, and they're very important to the endangered habitat at Middle Fork Savanna. So the prairie grass of Middle Fork Savanna offers a great home for these guys, eastern Massasaugas, but also the Karner blue butterfly. The Karner blue butterfly, this is an example. They're a smaller butterfly. They're very bright in color. Males are more blue than females. They're only about an inch. Their wingspan is about an inch, and they're very important to the Middle Fork savanna ecosystem because they help pollinate an endangered flower. So that it's the blue lupin flower. And without these guys, without the Carner blue butterfly, there wouldn't be the blue lupin in the Middle Fork savanna. So they help pollinate that, and they're very needed for the Middle Fork savanna. They're endangered because their habitats are being destroyed. So as I mentioned earlier, the Middle Fork savanna is an extremely rare ecosystem, and that's because as people move to America, they need a place to live. So part of living is that they'll destroy habitats. Maybe that's swamplands or forest areas or oak savannas like the Middle Fork savanna. But because the Middle Fork savanna is protected, these guys don't need to worry. They can live comfortably. But there's just not a lot of habitats like the Middle Fork savanna around. And that is why the Carner blue butterfly can be found there. So the prairie grasslands of Middle Fork savanna offer a great home for the Carner blue butterfly, eastern Massasauga, but also the bobolink bird. So the bobolink is our last endangered species that we're going to be talking about, even though there are quite a few more endangered species that live in the Middle Fork savanna. But the bobolink are an incredible bird. Their wingspan is about 16 to 18 centimeters long. They weigh about 28 grams, or 1 ounce, or around 1 ounce. And they're amazing because they migrate. One bobolink bird can migrate up to 12,000 miles in 1 year. So that's crazy. And one bird has been found to travel up to 1,200 miles in 1 day. So they travel a lot. They see a lot of different habitats, but there's a reason why they come back to Middle Fork savanna. And that's because it's very rare. There's not a lot of them anymore. So that's why the bobolinks can be found there. They're important to the Middle Fork savanna because they help. They eat the insects, and they help. They'll build their nests in the weeds of the prairie grass, and they help the whole ecosystem by what they eat, what they do, and where they produce. So. Males are darker in color. They have more color than females. Females are lighter because they need to blend in with the grass and vegetation of Middle Fork savanna. So they need to use camouflage. But they're endangered because, again, like all the others, I feel like a broken record, but it's because their ecosystem is being destroyed. So there's just not a lot of their habitat around anymore. So that's why they can be found at Middle Fork savanna and really not a lot of places in Lake County because Lake County is very, very developed. All right, so we've talked about endangered species of Middle Fork savanna. We've talked about 3 of them, even though there's a lot more. And my hope is the takeaway for this is that you'll look at oak savannas differently than you do right now. So oak savannas, or the Middle Fork savanna, is globally recognized as one of the top 10 savannas in the world, and it's because there's just not a lot of them anymore, and it's people have done a lot of work, and there's it offers just a great habitat for these creatures. So look at oak savannas and endangered species differently, because even though they could be dangerous, like the eastern Massasauga, they could be small, like the Carner blue butterfly, and they can be kind of original or blandish looking, like the bobolink, but they all serve a purpose in an ecosystem that's quickly fading away. So you don't have to travel to the other side of the world to see a spectacular savanna, because there could be one in your backyard. So thanks again for watching. My name again is Luke Bowman, and I've been presenting about the Middle Fork savanna. And I just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you on behalf of the Wildlife Discovery Center and Middle Fork savanna. And be sure to look at endangered species differently, and oak savannas and habitats, and be thinking of what you could be doing to help help preserve these ecosystems, whether that be helping on picking up litter on one day, or helping to clear out invasive species like invasive species of trees and things like that. So thank you again, and we hope to see you next time.